All right, y'all have been asking for it. Let's talk about Through the Omenpaths. So, Through the Omenpaths is the Universes Within version of the Marvel's Spider-Man set. It exists because it seems Wizards wasn't able to procure the rights to digital card games for the Marvel license, likely because of Marvel Snap having those rights. So, digitally, we have the set Through the Omenpaths. Now, Through the Omenpaths had some unique challenges, mainly because there were so many weird typings in the set. Like Spider-Human Hero, there are a lot of those. So it was up to the team who worked on this to figure out what that means in a Magic context. Today I'm going to be talking about all the white-aligned cards. First up is a demi of the Silk Shoots. This is from a unknown plane. I don't want to call it plane agnostic necessarily, because it seems like one of the things they did for Through the Omenpaths is create sort of a unnamed spider plane where all these giant spiders live in harmony with people. So I'm going to tentatively call this Spider Plane. Archangler Skyrod is mostly just a joke. This is not a plane we know. This is, however, an S-tier pun. Basil Cabaretti Loudmouth tells us immediately that this is from New Capenna. And it seems like New Capenna, Duskmorn, Kylem all get a lot of representation in this set. Speaking of Duskmorn, chosen by Volgavoth is very obviously a Duskmorn card. And you'll see a lot of like the moth motifs in all of these cards. City Pigeon is stealing a croissant from a Capennan. You can tell it's Capenna because of the Art Deco. Confessor's Bindings is one of our Zendikar cards from this set. That is a Zendikari goblin over there in a Skyclave, it looks like. There's even a Hedron in the background. You gotta throw a Hedron in every piece of Zendikar art so we know where you at. Costume Closet appears to also be a Duskmorn card. You can largely tell because Through the Window is sort of that fuzzy TV static look. And while it's hard to see in the ghost itself, the ghost also has that sort of staticky look. And the fabric here sort of has that moth-like patterns on it as well. They also take place on Innistrad, but I think Duskmorn. Crime Scene Investigator, this is a Boros detective from Ravnica. Ravnica, being another city, is always a good place to have stuff like this. Darval, whose web protects. This is sort of a spider centaur rather than like a spider and a human in partnership. And it's very clear he's like walking through some sort of webbed either portal or something he has there. This is another like plane agnostic card. It could potentially be Spider Plane. Lastly, of the Thousand Moons are sort of the elite warriors of Ixalan's core, the Oltec. The Free Striders are, of course, a Thunder Junction faction. They're like the white-green faction, as you can tell from their clothing, and they always have like that sun burst on them somewhere. And Generous Betty Ray is a member of that faction as well. You can tell by the costuming. Lively Leap is just cute. It's just cute. Might be from Cute Spider Plane. I don't know. As distinct from Spider Plane, maybe. It's just plain agnostic. It's adorable. A Most Helpful Weaver is just it's like a Charlotte's Web. It's a Charlotte's Web adaptation, if you didn't figure that out. Mothwing Shroud is another Duskmorn. Principled Referee is very much a New Capenna referee judging a boxing bout. Remarkable Findings has a very obvious Sunstar Knight here, so it's very easy to tell. We also have the Edge. Sarn of the Silken Throne is another human partnered with a giant spider, so I'm going to call Spider Plane on this. Spectacular Tactics is another Duskmorn card. You can tell because there's wicker folk all around. And it has the cheerleader you all loved the first time around. I actually kind of love this. Sudden Strike is very obviously Kamigawa. You got a Kitsune fighting a Nezumi. Surus Spider Silk Innovator is a tough one. The tech doesn't look quite at the Edge's level, but this feels like it might be Adagia from the Edge, and the tech looks like it could be edgy tech, so tentatively I'm going to say this seems like the Edge, but it's not necessarily the Edge. This does look kind of like a spaceship interior, and there are a few other cards in the set that have like a similar vibe. Parallax the Haven Skin, I'm going to call this Symbiote Plane. Symbiotes here are sort of these flesh monsters without like a head of their own. We'll see a lot of these. We don't really know anything about them yet, and there aren't enough clues in the art to tell us exactly where they're from. Yera and Oski have a vaguely Nordic look, and that could mean Kaldheim. It could also mean certain areas of Dominaria, like New Argive. And the spider here isn't large enough for me to call it Spider Plane either. So for now, we're not really sure. I don't want to strongly call it for one thing or another. And then finally, Zora, spider fancier. She's just a lady who likes spiders, and she's very obviously from New Capenna. That does it for white. I'll hit blue tomorrow.